Welcome back to NAAFS and Fight Night in the Flats 5 preview show as we take a look at the Nautica Pavilion where it's all going to happen. We'd like to again thank our sponsor, MMA Logo. Mr. Kalikas, let's take a look at the professional bout, sir. Yeah, this is going to be just a tremendous pro card here, and we're going to be kicking things off as we can see on our monitor here. Chris Lozano, Marcus Cuck, Nick the Savage Duel, and Micah Bender. And Nick Duel has really come into his own as a professional. Can't wait to see him fight again. Big John Hawk and Josh Stansberry, two of the premier amateur heavyweights now making the transition into the professional ranks. And of course, Nick Sorg and Dustin Kempf. I know BetOnFighting.com has this fight as pretty much a pick'em, which tells you how close this is going to be. Yeah, and I've talked to Kemp about this fight, and there's going to be an interesting strategy going into this. I think if he stays online with Sorg, you know, we saw what he did with Torrance Taylor, so it could be a very interesting interesting fight. Absolutely. And moving on to the four featured professional bouts. Of course, John the Bullet Fields takes on Johnny Soeder, and this is a fight that's been a year in the making. It was supposed to happen at Fight Night in the Flats last year. Injuries prevented that fight from happening. Well, we finally got that fight signed. Both of these guys are healthy coming into this. Fireworks is all I can say. Yeah, you got Fields, probably one of the most dangerous guys in the world for the first 60 seconds. Proved that against Jason Freeman. In my opinion, his best fight was his loss to Joe Louis, where he showed some versatility. You got Johnny Soeder in the camp of strong style, working his tail off. He's been off for a year. I guarantee you this guy is hungry. In fighting Fields, I think he needs to do one of two things. He either needs to change levels, get underneath that barrage, take it to the ground, or he needs to pull him deep into this fight and drag this out, testing the heart and the conditioning of John Fields. It'll be interesting to see which one he does. And I tell you, I don't think there's any love lost between the two of these guys. We saw the stare down in Akron, Ohio not too long ago, and that was something to behold as we take a look at it right now. Yeah, there was some intensity in the room that night, and make no mistake about it, these guys want to get at each other. A lot of mutual respect there, but both of these guys need a win badly. No better stage to do it than Fight Night in the Flats. Absolutely, couldn't agree more. And moving on, actually, we have a title fight, Sean Salmon and Allan Weickart. We talked about Allan Weickart a little bit in the open, has some tradition with Fight Night in the Flats. Sean Salmon, our current Pro Series middleweight champion, has fought in the UFC many times. Of course, many fans remember him from the epic main event versus Rashad Evans, which Sean lost, but that allowed him to come into the NAAFS, and this is going to be his first title defense. Yeah, now, Sean Salmon is nobody to underestimate. I mean, this guy, as I've said it before, I think a good wrestler, and this guy's a world-class wrestler, D1 out of Ohio State. I think wrestlers have an advantage, two-thirds advantage, if they can strike or if they can grapple. Sean Salmon, I talked to him about this fight. He says, man, my grappling is, it's there. So he's been working on it. He could be very dangerous, although you never discount Weickart, who's throwing bricks with those hands. Yeah, he's got a huge right hand, and he's always going to have a punch or shot. And again, he proved that versus Ben Rothwell. Although he didn't necessarily get the W, he stood in there toe-to-toe with a top 10 heavyweight in the world. Now Allan's down at 185. Yeah. Big difference. Moving on, of course, Ryan the Lion Madigan, very synonymous name to NAAFS fans, recently fought in the UFC, fighting for our welterweight title. It's an absolute thrill for us, and I know he's excited to be on the card fighting for a belt as well. But Mitch Whitesel, very dangerous fight here for Madigan. The odds have Madigan as a slight favorite coming into this one. Yeah, I think the odds are looking at this. If this fight stands up, I mean, you got to give it to Madigan. World-class striker. If it goes to the ground, I think the odds are probably going to go in favor of Whitesel. As we take a look at Whitesel here at Fight Night in the Flats, last year's event, and I don't know of any other fighter who in the middle of a fight looks up and waves to you, but there it is, Mitch Whitesel pulls it off. Yeah, he's a character, man, and he's free and easy when he comes into the cage, normally relaxed, which allows him to fight as himself, and that's a big advantage. I think that's probably the key right there. Mitch Whitesel is probably one of the most relaxed fighters anywhere I've ever seen. I mean, this guy comes out just like he's walking into church on Sunday morning, man. It's just, let's go to work, let's go to business, let's get with it. And he's very dangerous. I do think, though, you stand in front of Ryan Madigan, who's a good friend of ours. Ryan Madigan will put you to sleep. He's on World Combat League, veteran. He is no joke, and he's used to this kind of action, this level. Well, and Madigan is still ranked in the top 5 in the world as a kickboxer. Yeah, that tells you how nasty his striking is. But Mitch Whitesel, I'm telling you what, he's not scared. He's coming in here, intends to win this fight, expects to propel himself to that national stage where Madigan just came from. I'll tell you what, this is going to be one of those fights that, you know,
has me excited about it.
Anybody can win this fight. And again, I think it's going to, although I say if it goes down, Whitesel is going to win the fight. I don't know. I mean, Madigan, last time we talked to him, says he's working very, very hard after that last loss on his wrestling and his ground game. So it could go either way in any way. And
we've seen Madigan win. His last 2 wins have been by submission. So expect the unexpected in this fight.
Brandon Pierce, one of the guys they expected to take him down and submit him, ended up in a triangle with Ryan Madigan coming up victor. Coming up, we're going to take a look at our main event with Forrest Pets, the meat cleaver, and Taiwan Howard. In the meantime, take a look at ticket sales, www.naafs.tv, or by phone, 330-280-8442. Don't go away, we're coming right back.
Fight fans, don't miss the region's biggest annual MMA event, Fight Night in the Flats 5, on Saturday, June 6th at the Nautica Pavilion in Cleveland, featuring 3 UFC vets in action. Plus, meet Ultimate Fighters Jason Dent. Saturday, June 6th at the Nautica Pavilion. Tickets for Fight Night in the Flats 5 on sale now at naafs.tv. All about subjects to change.